If you love what we do, then please consider supporting CryptFail on Patreon. Your support helps us grow and to create more content more often. And now, on with the show.
Terrence will get out of the taxi. He will go into the house for a couple minutes, and he will come back. And, he'll lock up, and then on the way back to the taxi, you can see him, wrapping something around what appears to be, some kind of necklace. And he gets back in the car, still in the passenger seat. And he's mucking around with this necklace and a piece of paper. So what Terrence was doing was he had wrapped 2 strands of hair around this pendant necklace thing. And he had a ritual circle drawn hastily on a piece of paper that he had in his lap. He also grabbed his bag from the house. And, they hadn't gone anywhere yet, right? They're still in the driveway to the house. Okay. This hair that Terrence has is Wren's, and it was stolen when he went to pat her head and ripped out a bunch of it.
Ah.
I thought
In
so.
Allegedly.
Anyone wanted to know. He was trying to be sneaky about it and accidentally took a lot more hair than he But he tries this spell. And it doesn't poof up like the chalk ones normally do, but the page does start to glow a little bit. But it flickers and the glow dies. And for one advantage, I'll say that the pendant on the necklace doesn't break. And for the other advantage, I'll say that as much as the 2 hairs on that had been currently tied onto the pendant did kind of disintegrate into nothing, Terrence does have a pile more.
A pile?
By a pile, I mean a small collection. He got more than 2. 2 was his original aim. He got 10. Or something, I can't remember. But he got more than 2. I remember that being a thing, and it was a big issue.
Terrence wasn't trying to make a wig at all.
He wasn't.
Wren's got a bald spot.
But he had enough strands of hair for 2 attempts if he failed the first time, so he curses at the paper. It's like, "Nyeh." He's gonna try again. He takes out his remaining strands of Wren hair and ties it gently to the pendant. You have any good luck charms back there, girly? Terrence says to Cipher.
Cipher looks back at Terrence from... she was looking out the window. And she shakes her head.
Not even her lucky rabbit slippers.
Terrence cracks his neck. He's like, alright. Second time's the charm, right? Terrence is going to take out the letter that Wren wrote. He is going to copy the ritual circle spell that he has drawn on the paper over her writing.
I guess it would have touched DNA.
Well, she would have touched the page,
exactly.
so he's He's hedging his bets on the fact that there's probably sweat and oil and
Skin cells.
dead skin cells on there. And he's going to touch the pendant to the paper. And he's going to activate the ritual spell again. This is all probably taking a while.
Yay! 1 success!
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to explain how the spell works.
Okay, you do that. And please tell me
So-
how it
so-
would tell you where someone is so I can do that.
Well, Terrence activates the spell, and instead of glowing and then flickering off, it continues to glow brighter until the entire letter is just this, like, thin sheet of light. It's not blinding, it's just a soft glow kind of deal. And then it wraps itself around the pendant.
Mm-hmm.
And basically disappears, but the pendant is now glowing slightly. And it is leaning in a direction that Wren is.
Okay.
It's basically a wayfinder spell.
Okay. I don't know a good way to tell you.
It's like a compass. If it works like a compass.
Well, it's pointing in the direction of cornerstones.
Yeah, he's just staring at the necklace. And he says, if she's at Cornerstones, I'm gonna be pissed that I wasted all of her hair.
Where are you gonna go to Cornerstones?
We were, but then you were sobbing and you wouldn't tell me why, so I panicked and skipped a step.
Cipher seems to be a little bit interested in this pendant that you have. Well, that Terrence has, should I say.
Do you want to hold it?
Mm-mm.
Do you want to know how it works?
Mm-mm.
Really? You're usually more interested in this kind of thing, especially if it sparkles like this.
How was the magic done? Like using what, Arcana or?
This one was Arcana, yes.
Well, I think maybe you bind the hair that you had from Wren to an item which draws the energy from that. So you used a bit of paper there that had her, I guess, essence on it. So binds the essence to that item and makes it into a magical item which is naturally drawn to her essence. So in essence, that item that you're holding is naturally drawn to where she is.
Terrence smiles, and then he looks confused for a second and opens his mouth like he's gonna say something. Then his eyes get really big, and he coughs, and his nose just starts gushing blood, and his eyes roll back into his head, and he kind of, like, flops over against the passenger side door.
Oh. Oh, everyone's just being chaotic today.
Cipher's completely shocked. She's...
Yeah!
Because she's only ever seen this happen in anime movies.
Okay, he didn't look happy at all when his nose
Oh,
started
He didn't see
gushing
someone
blood,
really
alright?
cute first.
He didn't...
He actually looked like he was in quite a bit of pain before his eyes rolled into his head and he passed out.
Is he still holding the item?
His arm would have flopped down, but the string is still around his wrist, yes.
Oh, would Cipher know what went wrong?
Aside from the fact that it looked like he just had a violent aneurysm, no.
Terrence is literally passed out. Okay, from that answer, I'm assuming yes. Oh God. Can I roll willpower?
If you want.
Against what? Black or purple?
Your call.
Black situational.
Black is situational. And this is a situation, so I mean it does depend.
Yes.
So it's B.
It's certainly
oh,
a
it's
situation.
S.
Is it B for black?
S.
S. Oh, all dice have cancelled out.
Oh dear.
Cipher's stunned. She doesn't know what to do. She turns to George. George!
So he jumps out, opens the door, checks Terry's pulse.
If he opens the door, then
Yeah,
Terrence
yeah.
is gonna like flop out onto the ground because he
Yeah.
was like leaning heavily against the
Which
door.
he
when
saw,
passed
so
out.
he grabs Terry before Terry tumbles onto the floor and touches, his neck, feeling for a pulse. He's like, he's alive.
I don't know what to do.
And pulls Terry out, because you're parked outside your house, right? Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
picks Terry up. He's like, open the door, Cipher.
Cipher, opens up the door and she's trying to get out.
Not of the car,
And she
Cipher.
realizes...
Your house, Cipher.
What? She's trying to get out of the car and she's being pulled back into the car by the seatbelt. She's trying to get out of the seatbelt, and she looks. She's like all. She's like, yeah, very extremely stressed out. She clicks the seatbelt and stumbles out the door onto the road and races around the car and races up to the front door, and the front door's locked.
He takes a really deep breath.
And she's trying to open the door,
Cipher?
and she's like, okay, and she just freezes and starts drawing a rune on the front door. Oh, hang on. Jump and roll a black against that, so I can roll. My God, all that and. This game could end before we even get to the last module. Oh my God. Okay. So, she hastily starts incanting in front of the door, draws a rune, and yells out, "Explosion! Away!" And the window next to the door explodes in a hail of glass and shards and bits and pieces. Cipher jumps back, momentarily shocked. She's looking at the window and looking at the door. Looking back at the window, and she just starts crying.
Oh, no.
Did she just blow the front of the house off?
The window. Just the window.
The complete window, from frame to frame, the whole window's gone, and parts of the frame as well.
I was correct about the explosion.
I can only imagine the look on George's face.
He's like, I said, unlock the door. What are you doing?
He takes a deep breath.
This is the worst fair I have ever been.
Cipher, I need you to get through the window and open the door.
Cipher stands up and she clambers through the window.
Terry is heavier than he looks.
And he doesn't exactly look light. He's not a small man.
George is probably lucky
It's like-
he's not awake, though.
Cipher, your roommate could go on a diet.
Oh my God, lucky.
Very
Lucky
lucky that
Yes.
Terrence is tired of it. Oh my
Why do you think I said it?
Oh, that's so rude.
Anyway, Cipher clambers through the window hastily. She cuts her hands and knees. She's got bits of glass sticking in her, I guess, shins as well. And she scrambles to the front door and unlocks it from the inside.
Lucky it's not a double-sided deadbolt.
I was just thinking that.
Well, if you'd gotten a disadvantage, maybe. But you did.
As she opens up the door,
And he goes through the door. Where should I put him? I've never been in your house.
upstairs, first floor, left door, first floor, left, up there. She's pointing now
So he goes up.
on the imaginary table.
Yeah. Boom. Terry takes one more point of damage.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
We have a table,
Oh,
it's invisible.
God.
You just have to feel around for it.
Yeah.
The worst part is that George might actually believe that, and then Terrence would actually get hurt, and he might actually die from this shit.
No. I would like to point out that Wren's letter to Cipher ended with, "Please be careful."
That was your first mistake.
That was
No, her first mistake was running away. Because if she hadn't run away, they wouldn't be trying to find
She
her.
hasn't run away. She's just not answering her phone.
Same difference.
Is it now?
So he lays Terry down, checks his pulse again, satisfied, walks over to the wardrobe, grabs a shirt at random, goes downstairs, starts tearing it up. So, come here, Cipher.
Hopefully not a shark.
No idea.
Cipher staggers downstairs. She's just sort of like a zombie at the moment. She stands in front of George.
And he leads you over to the sink and he turns it on. Starts washing your wounds and pulling out the glass, and then with the torn up shirt ties a bandage. Not as good as a real one, but far better than...
She doesn't even flinch. She's looking down at the hand. She's like, why didn't I feel it?
Because you're probably in shock. I should have said be careful.
Seems like everyone's telling me to do that today.
Well, you're not listening.
Try to listen.
And he pulls out a chair.
He's looking around. That Cypher's looking around. No, I'm not taking over Terrence's character.
He's woken up and he's looking around.
I'm not gonna lie, I was mildly interested in what you would have Terrence do for a second. Yeah. Alright. So, Terrence is out cold. Cipher's in shock. George is wondering how he landed at, dealing with us two. What's happening now?
Cipher's got a phone out in both of her hands, and she's calling up Fenny.
What have you done now, Cipher? Hang on.
Send Lambie.
Lambert, get your ass over there. Your boyfriend's place. Alright, Lambert's on the way.
Is Wren there?
Yeah, she is.
Alright. Okay. Tell her I told her I would find her.
Alright.
She starts crying and she hangs up the phone.
Oh no!
So Fenneman goes over to Wren. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they're even doing the same job. Well, Cipher is in quite a large amount of distress. I don't know who she's with, because she didn't tell me before she left. She's very upset, beside herself. I've sent Lambert. He's looking for his car keys, because, I should have sent the fairies. And Terry's unconscious. But they're at home.
Yeah, I'll go. Everything's terrible, and it got more terrible. Okay, I'll go. I'm going. And Wren will go find Lambert to go with him.
And he's outside trying to get into his car and looking for the keys on him, and a fairy flies up dangling them. And he grabs them and starts unlocking his car.
And Wren will get in the car unless he objects.
He does not. So about 20 minutes later, I think we sort of said it was about 30 minutes, so he'd go a bit faster. And you guys pull up, and Lambert gets out and runs in. And George walks over, and they start talking.
Wren will kind of trail behind slightly hesitantly.
And Lambert starts to go upstairs. And George is like, there's an invisible table somewhere, just be careful, alright? Well, I don't know where it is, it's invisible, mate! You'll find it.
Wren makes it to the doorway and is just kind of standing there looking in.
Cipher hears footsteps. Extra footsteps. Lighter footsteps. She's like... Oh well. Lambert's run up the stairs, I'm assuming. Cipher picks herself up and meekly walks to the hallway, looks outside, sees Wren, her eyes lighten up, and she starts bawling and she runs to Wren and literally jumps on top of her.
And probably knocks her off the porch then.
No.
So they've both fallen onto the ground now.
Yeah.
George just stands there going, it's been one of those days.
I'm sorry, Cipher.
And she's like, did you ever leave again?
Maybe. What happened?
Terrence was casting a spell to seek it out, and then all of a sudden, that was it. It was passed out.
Okay. I really don't know what to do, or what's going on, or anything. I'm sorry. This isn't exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I don't recall writing, please everybody panic and pass out and break a window. What happened there?
Terrence locked us out of the house, and I had to get away into the house, and I didn't have a way of getting in the house. And then George was carrying Terrence, and George was asking me to get Terrence inside as quickly as possible, so I didn't know how to get in, so I had to improvise. And I may or may not have accidentally blown out the window.
Okay. Alright, well, do you know if Terry's okay?
Are you guys all in the house yet? Or what's happening?
We're outside in the snow.
Is there snow?
There should be. It's like February.
Yeah, we've fallen over into the snow, apparently.
Yep.
Okay, where are Lambert and George?
They're dealing with Terry.
Yeah.
So they don't
know this.
Oh, God.
I mean, Cipher jumped onto Wren, knocking her off the porch. So Cipher's presumably, like, on top of Wren. So Cipher would need to get up in order for them to get into the house.
She's just like laying on top of Wren.
Wren's just kind of, I guess, awkwardly patting Cipher's head because Cipher's sobbing, apparently. So.
Yeah. Like, Cypher's feeling quite warm because she's got... and you notice that one of Terrence's shirts is, like, being ripped up and used as a bandage around Cipher's hands and around her knees.
Theoretically not one that was 90% sequins.
Hopefully, because that wouldn't make a great bandage.
It's a sequence bandage.
Here's a bunch of small metal bits to put in your wound. Have fun. Cipher, what happened to your hands?
Well, I had to climb through the window.
Oh no. Okay.
And she looks up at the glass, and there's like glass sprayed everywhere on the front porch. Bits and pieces of wood, The wood's been splintered, bits part of the frames poking out.
Okay. Did you clean that before you wrapped it up in what looks like some kind of velvet?
Velvet.
Did you
what
clean?
if Terrence's velvet shirt?
I don't know.
Oh no!
It's in the back of the closet. He doesn't wear it anymore.
I was thinking flannelette.
Yes, he does. It's Terrence.
Yeah, something flannelette, maybe.
It would be real flannel if he had any flannel. He probably has one flannel shirt and that's
So
it.
hopefully not that one.
But
Had.
That got ripped.
But no, George ripped up one of his velvet shirts.
Apparently.
Terrence's pain. Cipher's got no pain at the moment. But she's
She's still in shock. Shock is very dangerous. Shock
you
can
gave
kill
her
you.
2 bowls of soup.
Yeah, over the course of 2 days.
No, after she woke
Well,
up.
she had
Today she's had to.
She's had 2 bowls of soup today.
Yeah.
She's like completely stoned off her nut.
Oh, she would have still been fine.
Cipher, do you think we can go inside? I probably deserve it, but the snow's a little bit cold.
Okay. And she gets up. And she's ow. Oh, and she starts walking back. She's ow, ow. No, wait.
Wait, no? No, wait, what?
It's all good. And she's hobbling inside. She's got a bit of glass at the.
And the cats are sneaking out.
Who's sneaking? What?
The cat.
Freedom!
Oh!
And the front door is still open too.
And the front door's
The front door is open.
Okay, so Cypher's trying to wrangle in these cats.
Oh dear. Apparently, Wren will follow Cipher in, and once Cipher's inside, she's gonna tell her to sit down because she was talking about having glass somewhere
In her
still.
left foot, yeah. She's like hobbling
'Kay.
with left foot.
Is she wearing shoes?
Nope. She was wearing slippers at one point, but she's not wearing them at the moment.
Okay, Cipher, sit down. I'm gonna take a look at your foot, okay? And how big of a piece of glass is it? It's 4.
4 millimeters long.
Okay. So,
So a bit,
Kind-
a tiny glass.
very small, so she's hopefully going to be able to get a grip on it. To pull
But it's
it
like
out.
it's like a splinter of glass.
Yeah, Wren's going to pull the glass out and go find some paper towel or something and get some warm water and soap and just start washing off the cut.
And Cipher will let you do that.
Not that your hand wraps aren't excellent, but do you have any bandages in your house?
Yeah, and the first aid kit.
Where is that?
I don't know.
But you know you have one?
Yeah, so I moved it when we moved here. I don't know. Terrence has been unpacking a lot of the stuff. I've just been mainly interested in my computers and stuff. And just
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go look for it. Do you stay here? Do you need some water or something?
I could do with a scotch.
I don't know where bandages are in your house. I don't know where that would be. I do know where the sink is, though.
Which sort of doesn't help with the scotch.
No, my point was I know how to get you water, but I don't know how to get you scotch. And also, I don't know if you should really have any at the moment.
Why?
No particular reason.
Why?
You might be in shock. It's probably bad for you to drink while you're in shock. Maybe.
What? Maybe?
No, I'm not. I'm not a doctor, Cipher! I'm just gonna go find a bandage. You sit here, okay?
Okay. Don't go too far.
I'm gonna stay in your house.
I told you I'd find you.
You did tell me that. To be fair, I kind of showed up at your house, but good job. Wren's gonna go look for a first aid kit that apparently exists. Wren's gonna go check like a bathroom or something for the first aid kit. So Wren manages to find a band-aid, and we'll go back to Cipher and apply it on the now cleaned cut on her foot, since it wasn't very big. One band-aid is going to be enough, I'm going to assume. Okay, do you have any other injuries that have not been dealt with?
She holds up her 2 hands.
Okay, well, that looks like it's okay for now. We'll deal with that when we can actually find a proper first aid kit, or take you back to a doctor if we have to. Do you want to go check on Terry?
Well, she does have a cut on her arm that I don't think.
Does she? That hasn't been.
That George didn't dress, or did he? Yeah. So her right arm is bandaged up to her elbow.
Oh my goodness, everything's kind of fallen apart, hasn't it? Cipher, do you want to go check on Terry, or do you want to stay here? You don't know? Okay. What do you want to do? Other than drink scotch, because I can't help you with that.
She stands up and holds your hand.
You want to go see?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's go see what's going on. And I guess we walk up holding hands.
She meekly follows.
I guess you guys can come in around the same time that Terrence starts to come to again.
Okay.
And he's trying to sit up. And he's got blood all over his face. And he's kind of dazed. Well, just because his nose was bleeding.
Wren doesn't know that.
Well, she does now.
Unless she stated, it's just because my nose was bleeding. She doesn't.
Well, it's like, it very clearly came from his nose.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't have any cuts on his face.
That's
There's
good.
just a bunch of blood that looks like it came from his nose.
It would have been interesting though if he woke up and the first thing he said was, "It's from my nose bleeding."
But it's not like all over his forehead and everything.
It's just,
No.
just on his nose.
It's just
okay,
like under his
okay,
nose.
Okay. I was picturing more blood.
No. There's a lot, but it's pretty localized.
A lot of localized blood. Got it.
And he's not bleeding anymore, but it's still on his face. Anyway, he's starting to sit up, and he's all bleary. And he's looking around, and he's a little bit confused, because the last thing he remembers, he was in George's taxi.
Fair.
And he's like, what? Lambert... Wren. And, like, he sits up further, and he, like, scoots away from you as far as he can on the bed.
I thought we were still in the doorway, but okay.
Yeah, he's trying to get as far as humanly possible away from you.
Okay.
He's, like, pressed against the wall in a corner.
Interesting. And Cypher's resting her head on Red's shoulder. Standing next to her.
I'm getting very different reactions from these two.
Terrence coughs a little bit. And, like, aside from the fact that there's blood on his face, he looks like hell. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. almost, like, not quite as bad as the time we all got attacked by shadow things, but, like...
Almost.
On the same level of psychic damage that appears physically on your face.
Okay.
Like, he looks haggard. And he's holding his head, and he's got his other hand up, and he's gesturing at you. And he's like, what in the ever-living hell have you got yourself tangled up in?
What do you mean?
I mean, when I cast the spell to track you, I locked on to you.
Okay.
Except it wasn't you. It was...
It was?
Whatever it was. The you that wasn't you.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
It's like you're possessed.
I don't feel particularly
like you've got a
possessed.
demon hooked onto your soul or something.
Wouldn't I?
Because it said it knew me, and then it was gonna come and find me, and then it was gonna kill us all.
One, not great. Two, wouldn't I notice if I was possessed? Or
Not
something?
necessarily.
I don't do anything with magic. That's kind of your job, and now slightly Cipher's job. I don't know anything about demons or that. I just pick locks sometimes. And sometimes not even that.
And get yourself all hooked up into whatever other secret nonsense that you don't tell us about. You're very secret.
That's got nothing to do with magic or demons, though.
How are we supposed to know that? It's secret.
I can tell you for sure it has nothing to do with magic or demons. To see if there's a demon in it? I don't... You did a spell to find me, and you found something else that wants to kill us?
You
What?
mean there's something else? There's something else out there who's after Wren? A demon?
Well, it said it was gonna find Terry, apparently.
And now it's after
Terry.
Terrence?
Terrence is gonna sit down in the corner he's backed himself into, and he says, "Give me a second. I need to think about it for a minute." And he's gonna try and think about whether or not he recognized the feeling at all from anywhere else at any point in his entire...
Terry or the GM backed into the corner.
Yes.
Why not both?
Is this gonna be a knowledge roll? Well, he is sitting down to think about the actual event. Because how can you figure out what it is without thinking about the event? I don't know. My brain is shutting down.
I'm sorry.
Three success and a disadvantage.
What's your disadvantage?
I guess Wren is still just standing there holding Cipher's hand and looking very confused and tired.
Now, see, if you lived with us, none of this would ever have happened.
I can't. Cipher, if I could live here, I would. The rent is so much cheaper.
Well, why do you have to live where you live?
because I do.
You're complicated.
So I've been told. Apparently even more so, because apparently there's a me that's not me that wants to kill people. And how did Terry do a spell to find me? I don't really like that that was a thing that could happen. How did he do that?
He may or may not have used some of your hair.
How did he keep that?
I don't know.
Tricky.
Well, if you don't want people taking your hair, you're gonna have to stop people from touching it. And she's like patting the back part of your hair with the bandage. That's the makeshift bandage.
Is she pulling any hair out?
No, she's not pulling any hair out.
So if I don't want people to track me, I should shave my head?
Ew.
Oh, how else am I apparently supposed to stop people taking my hair?
Can't picture you with no hair. Wait, she steps back. She looks at you. I'm surprised you don't have a boyfriend.
You're back on this, are you? Why should I?
I'm not saying you need one. I'm just surprised. You probably get asked all the time.
No.
Really?
Really.
I guess you're the kind of person that would more keeps to themselves, less seen, less heard, sort of type.
I think I've been asked out by exactly one person.
Ooh,
It's kind of his fault all this happened, apparently. And he's dead now, so there's that.
You killed him?
No, Cipher, he died doing the job that we then had to do.
That was your boyfriend?
No, he asked me out and said yes.
Oh. So, wait, what? He had the hearts for you?
I don't know, we were friends for a long time. Maybe he thought it would work out.
Yeah, I can see why you took the job.
Turning from the very off-the-rails conversation with Cipher to Terrence, Wren will say, yes?
Terrence is kind of just, he's sitting in the corner and his nose is dripping a little bit of blood again, which is fine. But he looks up and he's like, would anybody have the means or a reason
To
make an evil version of you?
I don't
You know how some like demons can shapeshift and look like people?
Okay. Not. Does it look? Did it look like me? Did it? What? Did it?
There's something out there, and it's got the same genetic code that you do, like the exact same. Like somebody took a Wren-shaped stamp and stamped it somewhere else too, except your stamp is in bright colors and this other stamp is completely in black. Does that make any sense? Is that a good analogy?
Sure. Stamp DNA. I don't think I know anyone that would do that. I don't think my parents would do that. I don't know.
The pendant I cast the tracking spell was pointing at cornerstones. But the thing that latched on to a mental link and talked to me was in an industrial area.
Industrial,
So, not cornerstones.
well, I don't live in an industrial area, if that's, I don't know of anything in an industrial... I think the last time I went to a industrial area, Mr. Book was there. Unless he's done something, then I really don't know.
I don't think it was Mr. Book.
Okay. I know of people you set the means to do something. I know of people with the means to do a lot of things, but I don't really know why they would want to do that.
Were you ever experimented on as a kid? Terrence is like standing now and he's stretching.
I don't think so.
Alright, good enough for me. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it was alarming. And it hurt. Like, seriously. Blech. And he's like wiping
I'm
the blood off of his chin.
sorry that a demon version of me gave you a nosebleed and stuff.
Why did demons like my head so much?
I don't know. But if it said it was gonna find you, then it at least doesn't know where you are now, I guess?
I am sure it certainly has a clue after all that hell.
Oh, good.
Anyway, Terrence, walks forward and he puts his hand on Lambert's arm.
And he...
He says,
Are you
okay.
sure?
Am I ever sure?
Well, in fairness, you're not normally like this.
No, I don't usually bleed profusely out of my nose.
That's good.
But it stopped, see? And he taps his nose and then winces.
What's going on, Terry?
Demons again, probably. Not entirely sure, but whatever it isn't good.
So, why exactly were you doing magic trying to find me?
Oh, the job was a...
The job. I left you
It's
the...
a dead drop.
Yeah, and I left you the information.
You have to call them. We don't get paid unless you call them.
Great, okay, fine. I will call them. Sorry about that. And... Wren will pull out her phone and call the number.
And it is a recorded message.
Okay, great. Then Wren will punch in a number, I guess. Alright, they transferred the money and I'll send it to you both. Hang on while I divide 25,000 by 2.
Cipher punches you in the arm. Hey, 3, silly.
I said you two could have it, and you did the drop, so you can.
Nope.
Why not? It's in my account. You can't stop me from transferring it to you, probably.
I sure as hell can. I can return it if I really want to. I asked for a third, and I only take a third. And in saying that,
I'll
I was
just give
really
the rest to
only
Terry. He
interested-
lives with you.
Interested in doing it just to help you out anyway.
You need money too. You still have to pay rent, your Cornerstone's tab, and whatever.
Alright.
Cat food.
300 for rent, and
Okay, fine. I'll just send you a third. Terry, do you want the other two?
Terrence kind of blinks at her. And he says, 1/3 is fine.
Cipher holds up 3 fingers.
Three.
In front of.
Yes, 3 isn't a third. What are you
Nope.
attempting? What?
3,000.
No, sorry. 8,333. You're lucky I don't try and divide the last credit in 3.
You take it.
Terrence has gone across the hall to wash his face in the bathroom sink.
Okay, well,
Maybe you could donate it to a local pound or something.
no, I'm giving... You each get a third. And I will transfer it to you. I'm sorry, I didn't know that I had to call, but... Guess it made sense, because they needed a password that you would not have known. So... Not unless you have done a lot more research on me than I thought and knew the birthday of my dead friend.
Into the bank.
Yep,
Because we all have legitimate accounts.
definitely. we definitely go to banks and fill out legit paperwork and all that great stuff.
Alright, Cipher hops on her phone. And she fixes up the tab with Fennyman.
And how much does she have left?
Enough.
Enough. Okay.
So, and Cipher's playing around on her phone, and blink. Terrence's phone gets a message.
Has she transferred most of her money to him or something?
She and there's 5,400 appeared in Terrence's account.
Cipher, you need money too.
Okay, how much money do we get from this job?
8,333 each. Cipher has just transferred 5,400 of her share to Terry.
5,400?
Yeah,
Why?
because she's claiming she doesn't need the money.
Rent in advance. I'm paid up to 9 months.
I hope you didn't empty your account. You do know you have to buy, like, cat food and stuff, right?
Yep, I got a little bit left for that. Yeah, she's thinking about how much cat food's going to cost.
It's 11 credits a week if my, 21 credits a week if my math is correct.
All right. So
Because I factored that into my weekly.
got enough there for.
But for you, it would be 42 credits a week.
So about 5 weeks.
Terrence-
worth.
Terrence is staring in the bathroom mirror, which nobody knows because nobody's in the bathroom, so I'm
Well,
going to stop
we
talking about
didn't follow him into the bathroom, no.
We're all in there with the bathroom. With Terrence.
Just talking about cat food while Terry stares at himself
Um,
in the mirror.
I'll just explain the aftermath that you would notice. You hear something shatter.
Not another window.
And then no, it's a small shatter, like a glass fell. And you hear thumping, and then Terrence falls backwards back into his own bedroom, which everybody is still collected in.
Yeah,
For some reason.
Because it would have been weird to follow him into the bathroom. Oh, are you okay? What happened?
Fucking creepy 3-foot-tall version of you.
What?
With purple hair.
I have purple hair.
in it says ponytails. I'm gonna assume you mean pigtails. Like twin tails.
Not braided though. You know, more.
What, like it was a kid?
Kinda.
I didn't have purple hair when I was a kid.
What the heck is
sorry,
going on?
this was where?
In the bathroom mirror, it was blurry and fucked up. I'm not okay.
Sorry?
Also, Cipher, what the hell? Terrence is looking at his phone now.
Also, I have a bunch more money. Wren's gonna go look in the mirror and see if she sees anything.
Unless it was the mirror that broke.
Oh. Did the mirror break?
No, Terrence knocked a glass cup off the sink counter thing.
Okay. Wren will come back in and be like, well, there's... either nothing's there now or only you can see it, and I don't know which is better.
What? Wait, what? Is Terrence saying things?
No, I didn't see anything, but it does feel weird in there. I don't know. I went to look at... well, it kind of feels like there is something. I just can't see it. It's just right out of my field of vision. You know, like when you feel like someone's watching you, but no one's there, but maybe someone is there, because maybe there's a weird mirror demon. Not ideal. No idea. What is anything? It was just in the mirror, like standing behind you, or where?
Behind me, which makes the fact that I fell out of the bathroom backwards pretty stupid now that I think about it.
Did it do anything? I mean, other than be terrifying?
Other than stand there and be creepy as hell, no.
It was me, but short, with pigtails?
It was you, but like you from the past, you from when you were a child. And also blurry and very creepy.
Well, it doesn't know what I looked like as a kid, so I guess that rules out some people.
Cipher sees Terrence mouthing something at her, and she shakes her head defiantly.
Wren is just kind of staring at nothing, pondering everything.
And she walks over to Red into the bathroom.
Oh, Wren's back in the room.
Okay, she's looking into the bathroom.
Terrence is just sitting in the middle of the floor, and he's got his knees up a little bit, and he's got his chin on his knees, and he's sitting there, and he's like, I'm losing my mind.
I don't think so.
There's nothing in there.
Did it... just nothing, or just nothing you could see?
Nothing that I can see.
But did it feel like something was there?
Who? Cipher's pointing to herself.
What? No, not you. I don't... When I went to look, I felt like somebody was there, I just couldn't see them.
Well, I'm looking in here and I can't see anything.
Okay. Now... This is another thing that is apparently my fault. Does the fact that you saw it in the mirror mean it knows where your house is? Like, should you live somewhere else for now?
I like this house.
This house?
Sorry, you probably didn't hear the
No,
first
I just
part
heard
of that.
this house.
I like this house.
I just heard this house.
Yeah, this house.
Sorry.
I was like,
sleepy.
what about this house? Your house is great, but and here's a counterpoint. You might want to live somewhere else temporarily anyway till the window gets fixed.
Yoink.
What happened to the window?
Cipher
Well-
stands up straight, turns, pivots on the spot, and walks out of the room.
Necessary life-saving efforts, to my understanding, happened to the window. The door was locked.
She blew up a window because the door was locked?
She was pretty panicked from what I heard and can tell.
Was that her house?
What?
Okay, so you blew up the window because of a locked door when you knew that I had keys on me.
I'm not in there. Cipher yells when she's walking down the stairs.
As a motorcycle goes by.
Can't hear.
I wouldn't... Look, I'll pay for the window. This is indirectly all my fault, I
You
think.
don't pay for the window. Terrence gets up. And he's temporarily forgotten about the freaky ghost child. Fucking terrifying. Terrence gets up and he starts walking downstairs and he's like, ugh. And
Presumably it's pretty
stops.
cold downstairs.
Yes, very cold and windy.
He stops in the kitchen and he pulls some chalk out of one of the junk drawers he's created. And he goes over to the broken window and he's like...
It's not broken. It's literally been blasted
Exploded.
apart. Like an explosion like none that you could imagine normally. Like...
Look, don't be mad at Cipher. It's my fault, and also she cut up her hands and feet a bunch trying to climb through the window to unlock the door to get you in here.
And now the kids what? Oh, what?
Are the cats outside again?
Oh my god, no, what?
Terrence is just staring.
Which door?
What?
I
What do you mean, which door?
don't know what's happening either.
As you go out to examine the window that's in, I guess the window's in like the lounge room and the door's in the hallway.
I have a picture to post
Cipher's,
for it.
Next
Give me a second.
next to Pumpkin, or PK. PK's all puffed up and staring at the front door.
Oh, it's a nice house. fan.
So, hang on. Let me get this. All right. So Cipher sort of like stands up and hobbles to the front door, and is it locked? It's open or closed?
The front... Wren would have closed it behind her when they came inside. I know I didn't state that, sorry, but... I feel like Wren has historically been very nitpicky about doors being closed and locked, so...
So Cipher hobbles to the front door and opens it up quickly.
Shadowrun, a slice of life adventure in a dystopian future, starring Becca as Terry the Mage, RavenInsane as Cipher the Hacker, Emily as Wren the Thief, and Ghost as the GM. The excellent Shadowrun is produced by Catalyst Game Labs. The Genesys rule set comes from Fantasy Flight Games, and many of the sounds and music comes from Syrinscape, which is an amazing tool for bringing more life to your game table. This has been a Crit Fail production.